Yeah, I'll tell you what. I absolutely know that the Song of Solomon could very well be that we are God's lover, and I get it. We try to make it real spiritual. But there's something really spiritual about having your girl by your side.
Come on.
Come on, guys. Are you from Montana or what? We gotta super spiritualize everything, don't we? But we don't want to talk about love. Right? I remember me and my little buddies, we used to, in church school, we used to, we went, Lutheran grade school, and we'd spend most of our chapels looking through those Bibles in the front, and my buddy would show me Song of Solomon. And that's all I got to say. Because I know you all ain't that spiritual. I know you know what I'm talking about. That reminds me of like this I just got to tell you that, yesterday when you were talking about swearing, it just reminds me of this story that I got to tell you. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this. I'm actually thinking now, I'm like, oh, my wife gets, well, I'll tell it to you. I'll tell you the clean version, but the dirty version is way more fun, but I have to tell you that. The clean version is, last year, I was with my 8-year-old, who's 9 now, Samuel, and I was sitting with him. He was helping me put the last storm windows on our house before the winter came. And so it's late November, and I'm putting this storm window on an upper floor room, and the storm window collapses on my finger. And my hands are outside in like 20-degree weather, and you know what that feels like when you get your hand and it's cold already and numb, and then you get it smashed. And this window comes swinging down and smashes my finger. And I said, shh, and loud. And my wife, and you think it's going to make it feel better if you do this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm dancing around the room, and my wife runs down the hall, and she isn't even concerned about me. She's just concerned about what I said. And so she comes down the wall, she's like, Jay? And she's looking at Sam. And I felt so bad. After my finger started feeling better, then I started coming to my senses, and I realized that I just lost control, and I had said a bad word. And you're not supposed to say bad words. You know what I mean? And so I sit down with Samuel on the couch, and I said, Sam, I'm so sorry I said the SH word. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm your father, and I'm a minister. And we're not... That's my cell phone. Anyway, that's probably my wife calling, telling me not to tell this story. So I just knows. Yeah, she knows. So I said, it's a quick story, but we'll get back into music. But so I feel bad. I sit down next to Samuel, and I said, I'm so sorry I said the SH word. And this is what Samuel said to me. That's the SH word. And then I realized, oh man. And I said, yeah, it is. And you know what? We should never say it. And your dad should never have said it. It hurt my finger, and it just came out. And he's like, oh yeah, that's okay, Dad. How's your finger? It's feeling a little better. they go to bed that night, and I go to lay down next to Samuel in bed, and I said to him again, it was so in my heart, I said, Sam, I feel bad that I swore in front of you. That's so bad. And he said, that's okay, Daddy. Thanks to you, now I know 4 swears. And I said, oh, man. I said, what are they? He said, well, I know the D word. That's darn, right? I said, yep. He said, and my friend taught me the F word. I said, whoa, really? At school, that's frick. I said, oh, that's not so good. And he said, and this is my favorite one. He said, and I know HE double hockey sticks. But the funny thing about it is that he thinks that that's the swear. He doesn't actually know what it spells out yet. He just thinks HE double hockey sticks is actually swearing when you say that. So I was like, this isn't so bad, you know? So then he says, and thanks to you, now I know the SH word. And I said, oh, man. But then I had the sense to say, well, what is it? And he said, shick. And then, first of all, that is purity. That's purity. Shick, Dad. And then I'm stuck. I'm having problems because now as a father, I have to go to bed, and the whole night I say to Rachel, I said, we're laughing hysterically, of course, and then now my problem is that poor kid's going to go to school tomorrow and tell his friends. So now I don't know, as a father, should I tell him what the real one is, or should I But we decided I should just leave it alone. So.